Okay, so what have I got here? I have a water tank. This is going to be the water source that's going to run from the tank through this little valve right here, through a pump, a water pump. It's down in there. I've been trying to keep it quiet, but that's the water pump that I use. Doing my best to quieten it down by putting a shirt over it, putting it inside of an insulated box. Still doesn't help much. But I got that ran up to this switch right here. And there's no water in it yet. Let me show you what I have done to get it where I can fill it with water. Now, I didn't want to have to lift the couch up every time and fill up right here. Also didn't want a way for it to come out inside here, which I'm going to have to plug this off. That's no problem. Actually, I'm going to have to make a vent. This will have to be have a hose on it, and it will have to run probably up under the sink or something, so that I've got a vent, because it needs to be vented. Because the pump will be drawing water out, so air has to go in. But anyway, I mounted the tank down with these straps right here, both ways, so it can't go anywhere. And I took this hole saw right here, and I drilled through this 2x4 through the paneling, insulation, and 2 layers of school bus to have this on the outside. Now this is a cap that you can take off just like that and dump your water in. We'll give it a little try here, see what we can do. You could fill this with a hose or anything. Okay, also, put all this extra stuff that I gotta clean up, but this bucket has got to do double duty right now. I set it right here, which is under the drain for the sink, because I don't have my drains hooked up yet. I don't even have a tank yet for that. But alright, now okay, the switch of course is right here. Turn that on, and then it is kind of noisy. That pump, right down there, it's pretty noisy. I quietened it down a little bit. By putting a shirt over it. But I think it's getting vibrations through the hoses and stuff too. But I just used this braided wire, or braided hose. That's good for like 75 psi, which this little pump only gets up to like, I think, 35. It has an automatic shut off. Yeah, 35. Now we have the water hooked up. But then, as you can see, there is no hot water. So Turn that pump off. What we need is some hot water. All right, I have an idea. I don't know how well it's actually going to work, but it's what we're going to try. This expertly bent piece of copper tubing, well, not really, it's not expertly bent, a couple of little small starts of a kink, but it's still, you still get flow through. Now, what I plan on doing, this stove is going to sit right here, and I figure if you turn on this burner, the heat's coming up, going over these coals, a little closer, you can see the coals. What I figured I'd do is put the water in right here, let it run around the coal. I know it's pretty ugly, but you know what? It's going to be covered. As the water comes around, it's going to get heat from the copper pipes. But I want to have it kind of like an on-demand water heater. When you want hot water, light up your stove with this over top of the burner, just like that. Well, something like that. So that can go over top of it like that. First off, the plumbing part. Need to run a piece of this from the hot water side here, where it splits off, up into the coil, back out of the coil, up into the faucet. I'm going to have to put a splitter also for the shower head. Now what we need, a couple of holes drilled up through here. So with this sitting here, like that. Okay, so water comes in, comes through the coil. Like I said, it's a beautiful coil right here. So precise and everything. But anyway, I bent this by hand. I didn't wrap it around anything. I just bent it by hand. So, you know, kind of expected to be a little messy. Anyway, that being said, get that about centered up there, like that. And then put this on top of it. Okay, it don't look as bad. And you light this, and your water gets heated. Okay, let's run that over to the faucet. Turn that valve on. That's my hot water shutoff. Quite a bit of heat coming out of there. Turn it off for just a minute, let the copper coils get hot. There's a lot of heat right there. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe not. Not enough contact with the copper pipe, apparently. Okay, now, what I've ended up doing, kind of figured out, the reason it wasn't heating up was because as the air was coming through, it was coming through too fast, and it was letting the pipe cool off. So now I've let it run for a minute to actually heat this can up, or this pipe up, and all of this. This is all good and hot now. So that way it can contain the heat a little bit. Let's see what we got. Okay, very hot. Very, very hot. Very, 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 very hot. Okay. It is, it's working. Yeah, that's too hot. Need to turn up the water a little bit more. There we go. Oh, yeah. It's about right there. Got a good temperature right there. And it's maintaining nice and warm. So, alright, that has our water heater working. Alright, so what have we done here? We've done a few things. I think it looks a little bit better. Got some curtains hung up. That one I'm going to have to redo. I'm going to have to make a seam on the top to run the curtain rod through, but it's just kind of lapped over right now. And I'm actually on this side, I'm going to get another curtain, well, if it'll focus in here. Okay, I'm going to get another curtain here because these have these big rings in them, and don't really want to use that because these I had to, it's the same curtain, I've just cut it into a bunch of pieces. But had to make it fit. This one, let me turn off some of these lights so it's not glaring back at you. Okay, so as you can see, this just a curtain kind of covering up the bus windows. Then you've got, of course, the water that works now and runs down into the sink. We have the switch right here for the water. I have put some, well, they're floor tiles, or what are actually what they are, but that should work pretty good. I'll just have to keep going over them though, because that's they're cheap floor tiles. Actually, they're exactly the same as the ones that's on the floor. They're just a different color. And these have actually stuck really well, so I guess they'll be alright. Okay, I have hot water now that runs through this using the propane, which eventually will be plumbed in. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I may actually just leave it like that because this is handy, because I can take that and stick it outside. Now, I had to fold up this other wing of this, so I put this little washer up here. Actually, it's a piece that I cut out to run my water in. I cut out of the bus, so it's a piece of the bus. Turn it like that, and this will fold down, and then put it up here, spin it around like that, and it holds up. Now that way, I can use my water heater, which that works. I actually have a line ran across and up through here, over and coming down here. Now I do have a valve that I'm going to put on the end of this. I got to get a connector, and I'm going to run it to this, which I've got this little shower head right here, and it is screwed to here. I just took a screw and ran it straight through here. It still is movable, but it should work. Anyway, I think that is going to be about it. I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.